If you were the scapegoat in your family, you were never the problem, but you were treated like you were because someone had to carry the weight no one else would face. And when you finally step out of the scapegoat role, everything starts to change. Not because you are causing a problem, but because your absence exposes the family problems. In this video, I want to walk you through what really happens when narcissistic parents lose you as their scapegoat. But first, let's be clear about what the scapegoat role actually is. The scapegoat is cast to be seen as the problem one in the family. Often they can be seen as the problem maker, the troublemaker, both being seen that way inside the family and outside the family, because the family roles will be broadcast to extended family and even to some of the community around us. The scapegoat is not the problem, and they are not the problem in the family. They are where the family places the problem. They carry the anxiety, the anger, the shame, and the dysfunction, so the rest of the system doesn't have to face it. The scapegoat is the one who may refuse either consciously or unconsciously to fuse with the family's dysfunction. They don't play along. Or the family may only interact with the scapegoat if they continue to accept the abuse. And in a narcissistic or enmesh system, this refusal gets punished. They are often the most emotionally honest person in the family, the scapegoat, but honestly threatens a system built on denial, control, and bullying. The scapegoat becomes the target, the identified problem. They become the one who is too sensitive, too angry, too over serious, too difficult, too problematic, not because they are, but because the family needs them to be. So what happens when the scapegoat steps away? First of all, when the narcissistic parents lose the scapegoat, the system destabilizes. Changing a part changes the system. When you show up differently, you brand yourself a non-scapegoat. It throws the narcissist and the family system off. I remember talking to Jose, fake name, threw his family off when he responded in a nonplussed way. All of the siblings would get together, but just not invite him. If mentioned, they would say, well, of course you're invited, Jose. But it would not be long, they would do it again and not invite him and not include him. He was the family scapegoat. So he began to say to them, I hear you're having a get-together. I do hope you have a good time. And he would say this without reactivity, upsetness, or guile. This tended to throw them off because he was acknowledging what was actually happening, but also maintained some inner boundaries of detachment that I can't change you. I'm not going to shame you or guilt you for not inviting me. And again, the positive part is it really is their loss, not his. It would be great to be a part, but if they're not wanting him to be there, then do I want to be where I'm not wanted to be? Number 2, when narcissistic parents lose the scapegoat, they panic emotionally. Narcissistic parents have to readjust. They have anger, criticism, and they have all of these things that they need to project, and they wonder where it should be directed. Once you step out of the scapegoat role, it frustrates the narcissist because where am I going to put this? Stepping out of the scapegoat role at least requires strengthening your inner boundaries. Whenever I say inner boundaries, think emotional detachment. These are the I don't care muscles and the it doesn't matter muscles. And I think we want to exercise those more and more so that we are nonplussed, non-reactive, so that, we can be okay with them being not okay. Number 3, when narcissistic parents lose the scapegoat, they escalate with resistance. When they sense or see that the scapegoat is slipping away, the narcissistic parent gets reactive. often escalating to the 3 stages of resistance in families. Stage 1, why are you doing this, Mary? Why are you doing this, Jose? And what's wrong? Stage 2, why don't you change back? Or how about you stop doing what you're doing? Stage 3 resistance is stop what you were doing or else. And those are the typical 3 stages of resistance that if we can maintain our self-differentiation, it does create a change in the system. It doesn't make a narcissist not a narcissist. They want the roles to remain the same and have the family look like it's always looked and want everyone to act like they have always acted and playing their part in the family. Number 4, when narcissistic parents lose the scapegoat, they recruit replacements. The family must project their pain onto someone or something. They unconsciously play past the hot potato or to elect a new scapegoat. It may be the one who was the most sympathetic to the old scapegoat. It could even shift to the golden child, and I've seen that happen as well. But they will recruit a new scapegoat because there's no place else to put the pain. They're not going to deal with their pain or take responsibility for their dysfunction or brokenness, so it has to go somewhere. Think of the family like a mobile. And I think if you were in junior high art, or you might have made a mobile where you have all these wires and there may be papers stuck to each of the wires. And you would see this in different art situations. And then if you pull on one of the pieces of paper, it shifts the whole mobile. And that's what happens when the scapegoat refuses to play the scapegoat and steps out of their role. It shifts the whole mobile. And of course, they don't like that. The family doesn't like that. They want things to continue as usual. And it shifts all of the branches. Number 5, when narcissistic parents lose the scapegoat, they pull harder to get you back. And of course, you know of many ways a narcissist can try to pull you back. Love bombing, shaming, guilting, all kinds of ways they will try to pull you back in. I want to mention that in my Road to Self program, I do teach you how to calmly navigate resistance and pushbacks without getting pulled back in. Narcissistic parents will use shaming, love bombing, flying monkeys, gifts, even fake apologies, depression, mobbing, rage, even illnesses to pull you back in. Mary developed her plan for all of these contingencies by way of preparation. I have several people who have done this. She planned how she would respond to each of these moves. So when you have that whole list of ways you think your family may respond or react to you, what is your response going to be? And if you plan ahead, you will have greater calmness, you will have a greater sense of self, and you'll be able to respond, not react. Then when dad calls, for instance, and says, hey, well, your mother thinks she might be having a heart attack, which she's been having for every month for the last 2 years. Dad, I'm sorry to hear mom might not be feeling well. Please get her to a doctor right away. She wants you to come over and to see her. If she feels it is her heart, she should not delay in seeing a doctor right away, Dad. Number 6, when narcissistic parents lose the scapegoat, they start romanticizing or demonizing your absence. It is during this time that the narcissistic parent starts to demonize or romanticize your change in role. These types of things begin to be said. Well, she was always my favorite. Or good riddance to her, or good riddance to him. They will swing back and forth again to deifying you to demonizing you. They can't accept the loss or own their own part in the reason the scapegoat has made the choice to exit that role and to really make a change. So it is either poor me or further rejection. They double down on the scapegoat. And again, I'm the victim or I'm going to be the abuser. You're leaving the family, or you're being so difficult, has fractured this family. meaning you are ruining the family by not playing your part. I'm sure many of you have heard that before. Number 7, when narcissistic parents lose the scapegoat, the golden child often crumbles. As I mentioned, the loss of the scapegoat can affect other roles in the family. Other roles begin to shift. The family finds it difficult to function exactly the way it functioned before. For example, the golden child no longer has the scapegoat or problem child to be better than. While the golden child may hold on to their role in the family, others may start to become targets for nitpicking or criticism. They then begin to audition for the opening in the scapegoat role. Number 8, when narcissistic parents lose the scapegoat, they feel exposed. Narcissistic parents lose their foil or their sleight of hand or look over here focus, which is exactly what a scapegoat is all about. Look over here so you don't look over here. I know for many years I work with alcoholics and addicts. Those are horrible diseases, and they're very difficult to treat and very difficult at times to get over and to find recovery. And that often the alcoholic or addict wants a scapegoat in the family so that everyone will look over there at the problem child. They're having trouble at school, they're shoplifting. Now we know where the problem is, but nobody asks the child, is your father an alcoholic? Yes, he is. And that could be the reasons why they're acting out. Not the acting out is a problem, but the reason, the deeper problem is not being addressed. They feel vulnerable if they don't have a place to project their negative or shadow side. And we need to project that shadow side somewhere. And that's what the scapegoat is for. Number 9, when narcissistic parents lose the scapegoat, they lose emotional control of you. The scapegoat role protects the dysfunctional parent from you being a loose cannon, sharing family secrets, a catalyst with which they could experience shame, and this is so triggering for a narcissist. And so if a scapegoat is out of pocket, that can really shake a narcissistic parent. Mary began to shed her role as her narcissistic mother's scapegoat. Her mother doubled down on her attacks, threatened a loss of inheritance, became more aligned with an evil stepsister, and I do mean literally an evil stepsister. Mary worked very hard to detach internally and giving up her feelings of guilt and shame. She differentiated from the family narrative about her. In other words, that's them, not me. Her mother said, I can't take your attitude and hurtful behavior. You know my heart isn't good. Her mother ended up in the hospital. All the family blamed who? Mary, as a strong attempt to put her back into scapegoat jail. Mary continued her work of getting her family out of her. Her family revolved around the narcissistic, abusive mother. Mary found inner peace and believed her own reality and truths about herself. And she began to live in a greater recovery way. If you're ready to finally break free and start living with emotional freedom, inner peace, healthy relationships, then join my 84-minute training. It is a free training. Over 30,000 people have already joined. Click the link in the description and access the free training now. And if you're looking for a deeper, step-by-step process, join my Road to Self program. Many of those who have joined Road to Self say it was the missing piece in their healing journey that helped them get their family out of them and finally stand strong in their true self. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you'll never miss a new video. I want to thank you for watching. Have a great day and be wise.